All right, ladies and gentle peeps, today is going to be a different type of video. I have here a scanner, FOXWELL NT530 Plus. This is a multi-system bidirectional scanner. Essentially what that means is it's able to do more than just traditional OBD2 scanning. Now, a little background here. Back when Mercedes and other manufacturers started putting more computers in their vehicles, you could really only interface with these computers with the dealership level software that allowed you to correctly interface and communicate with those systems. For Mercedes specifically, for those that are familiar, that was the Star Zentry system. And Star was laptop based, either the C3 or the C4 system, and it was pretty costly. I mean, it was upwards, $600 to get a laptop and all the hardware and the software required to be able to interface with those units. Now, jump forward to about 2015, 2016, there started to be more aftermarket solutions like what we have here that would allow you to interface with like the engine control module and the transmission control module, the front and rear SAM, stuff like that, that would allow you to at least read and erase codes, maybe get some live data from those units. Jump forward a few more years and we have what we have here. This scanner, both of these scanners actually, these units not only allow you to read and erase codes, they also allow you to do control module programming. Now, this channel specializes with diesels. One of the things that's unique and sometimes frustrating about the newer diesels is whenever you replace an injector, those injectors have to be coded into the computer. There's a code printed on the top of the injector. It's essentially the specification data for the injector that needs to be programmed into the control module. These units can do that. That was something that previously was only able to be done with Star. But it's not only that. These things are essentially mini Star systems. They have the capability, short of programming an entire ECU into the car, which can only be done at the dealership nowadays. Everything you could possibly imagine can be done with these units. You can, like for instance, you can go into the brake control module and you can actuate it in order to pump fluid through the lines for doing a brake fluid flush. Let's say you're out on a long trip somewhere and you run out of AdBlue and you don't know where to get it locally. You can reset the counter for how many starts you have left before you have to change your AdBlue. You can read codes, erase codes, run any actuation test that you can in Star. You can do any control module adaptation that you can in Star. The value that you're getting with one of these things for how much they cost is insane. Now, full disclosure, I did not pay for this. FOXWELL sent this out for a review. They did not pay me for a review. They just sent me this. But we'll go through the process here of connecting to the car. I'll show you step by step how it goes. Click OK, click Mercedes. It's going to ask you whether you want to manually type in all of the vehicle information down here, or it has Smart VIN, which will automatically detect the VIN of your car. It'll ask you if the VIN is correct, which if it's detecting a VIN, it will be correct. It'll give you all of the vehicle information here, which in this case it's correct. And then this is essentially your splash screen that you get here. You get a quick scan, which is not actually quick, takes several minutes. It will scan every single control module in the car, and it'll display any error codes if it finds any. We'll go into control modules. I'll pull you, and you can, so it separates. You don't have to scroll through a list of 40 different control modules. It separates the modules by the type of module it is. Drive is engine, transmission, fuel, that type of stuff. Chassis is going to be suspension, electronic stability programs. And it will include in here things that your vehicle does not have. It doesn't know offhand, based on the VIN number, what every single car has equipped on it. So, like if I go into AMG drive unit, this is not an AMG, obviously. I don't think there are any GLKs that are, but it should just return here an error in connecting to the ECU. Yep, no communication. So that's normal. If you go into drive, we'll go in here and we'll click to motor electronics. So you can see here we're in the CR42, which is the ECU, essentially. You read codes, there's no codes in the system. You can do live data, and it'll give you all kinds of information, like we'll do test values while idling. Gives you all kinds of different live data in here. Now this type of function, there's several scanners that are quite a bit cheaper out there that can do the same thing. But what they can't do is control module adaptations. And this is something that previously you were only able to do with Star. Every single one of these things in here is programming the control module. And this is just for the ECU. There's 20-something other computers in this thing. Like, for instance, when you change the air filter in this GLK250, you are actually supposed to reset the contamination level of the air filter. As I've said, whether it's this Foxwell or that Launch or, an Altel, or if it is Mercedes-Benz compatible, you're pretty much going to get the same experience on every one of these scanners. Now, where they do differ is some of the software functions, like particularly the regeneration of the DPF on the Launch unit over there, I believe does work. I've never done it. On this one, I know it does based on the some of the reviews and the conversations I've had with Foxwell on this thing. And they're constantly updating them. You'll find on here, like every couple months, there'll be a new update out for Mercedes or for whatever vehicle you decide to go with. Now, this is the NT530 Plus. This, from what they told me, is a prototype. It's not technically out yet. It will be out soon. My guess is price range, it's probably going to be like $150 to $180, probably that price range. I think I got this Launch scanner here on sale for like $130, I believe. This thing is great as well. It's touchscreen. I actually prefer physical buttons. It's a little bit faster. You can totally use this thing one-handed if needed. But that is pretty much going to be it, guys. That is my review of this NT530 Plus. In my opinion, I think it's a great scanner. It does everything that all of these other scanners do in the same price range. I cannot express to you how good of a value all of these scanners are in comparison to the Star systems. I cannot see any advantage to the Star system over one of these scanners. Reason being, especially with the newer cars, you cannot program new control modules in. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say you replace the ECU goes bad, or you replace the transmission control module. You cannot program in those new units anymore with the old Star systems. So you're better off, if you need to do that, just taking it to the dealership anyway. Everything else that a Star system can do, this thing can do. So can this. So if you're looking for a high-end scanner that can do anything that you'd need it to be able to do, scanning codes, erasing codes, adapting control modules, anything that you'd normally take it to the dealership to do, one of these things for less than $200 can do the exact same thing. That's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.